Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and for the last week, I've been driving the 2026 Toyota GR86 Premium. Up front is a 2.4 liter flat 4, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be making this video here today because I've spent yet another lovely week in one of my favorite automobiles. The GR86, I truly believe, is one of the best cars on sale today, and I'm excited to spend the next couple minutes with you telling you why I believe that is. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 2.4 liter flat 4 under the hood. Well, it makes 228 horsepower, and it is lovely. It's a huge upgrade over the 2 liter that the previous generation GR86/FRS had. It just makes better power, it's more fun to drive around town, and it just has some guts and some soul to it, which I really appreciate in a car like this. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission. I can't fathom anything else I would want out of a manual. It's really notchy, really clicky in and out of gear. The clutch has nice feeling to it. It's not too heavy, it's not too light, definitely a Goldilocks clutch. Easy to drive, and it's very engaging. There's no auto rev matching, there's no electronic shift by wire. You're doing the real thing. You grind gears, you dump the clutch, things happen. Very mechanical, and in that way, it's almost very human, the way that you shift this car. It's like cracking your knuckles. Maybe not every single one is perfect, but you're doing it yourself, and that's what I love about this transmission. Last but not least, it is, of course, rear-wheel drive, as the GR86 and FRS has always been, and this one does have a limited slip differential. How does it feel to drive the GR86? It is simply lovely. I always tell people, if driving is your number one thing, this car does it better than almost anything else on the market, especially at this price point. There are some other fantastic shifting and driving cars. The Lotus Evora, wonderful, but this is affordable and engaging, and it's not going to break your bank as much as those other cars will. Now, there are better cars for going fast. There are better cars for a comfy cruiser ride. There are cars that have a open top experience, but if you just care about the actual action of driving, this is the car for you, hands down. If you like shifting your gears, if you want to work for that speed a little bit, that's exactly what this car is good at and what I've been enjoying over the last 7 days. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have digital gauges. These are super easy to read, and they're not like overbearingly digital. There's no crazy graphics, straightforward to the point, the information that I need. On the steering wheel on the left, we do have our skip track and volume, as well as our source and phone options. And off to the right, we have our selectors for that gauge cluster screen, as well as our adaptive cruise, which is very nice to see here in the GR86. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, as well as our gauge dimmer switch and trunk release. Moving on to the door, we have our power mirrors, power locks, and power windows, as well as a cup holder that does in fact pass the big freaking bottle test. Moving into the center, we have 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch and our infotainment. I'll be upfront with this. This is by far the lowest point and worst point of the car. It is a very dated Subaru system, so you would have seen this in like the 2017 Subaru Impreza and things like that. It does not have wireless Apple CarPlay. It is only wired CarPlay, which is really annoying. We do have a backup camera that is obscenely low quality, and that's about it. This is definitely the low point of the car. Then we do have our climate controls down below. We, funny enough, do have dual zone climate, not really necessary for this tiny little thing, but we get it. We have where to send it down below, an AC, fan speed in the center, all of that found right here. Love love to see that. We have the shifter, as I mentioned, incredibly nice to shift, comfortable to shift, and very on point. Then down below that, we have our traction control off, and we have our traction control off with track mode. So when you hold this down, the tachometer actually becomes more linear and turns off traction control for hardcore track driving. Then we do have our heated seat buttons, and we get our center console with 2 USB-A's. Again, no USB-C, which is fine. You can get an adapter for it, but when you're paying $41,000, almost $42,000, it would be nice to not have to buy a $5 Amazon adapter to work with your phone. 2 cup holders that failed the big friggin' bottle test, but as we mentioned, it already passes in the doors. The seats are comfortable, and as a bigger guy, I fit in here pretty well. I'm 5'11", I'm about 270 pounds, and so I work in here. Nothing really to note besides that. They've been comfortable enough. We do have back seats, and I've crammed myself into so many GR86 back seats. I'm just gonna show you here today, but spoiler alert, I don't really fit in them. They're if you need them back seats, and there you go. The trunk is the same way. You know, the trunk does have decent space to it. Enough for a weekend trip, enough for a little bit here and there, and I did do a grocery run with it. This is about a week's worth of groceries for my fiance and I, and so I was able to get that stuff, but don't rely on this like you might a pickup truck or large SUV. Now we have to talk about the looks, and boy, do we have to talk about them, because this is actually optioned with the GR Aero package. So it does have a body kit. This is actually the body kit that you'll see on the Yuzu edition GR86. So we have reviewed a car with it before, but I hated that tacky yellow. I like it a lot more on this dark gray. I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks like a spaceship, and I am just like over the moon with this thing. I think it looks incredible. I took this side shot coming home the other night, and I was like, quite frankly, damn, like that looks good. That is a sick car from the factory, mind you. This is how it rolled off the assembly floor. Maybe some different wheels and tires, maybe a touch more low, maybe some coils and wheels, and call it a day, man. I mean, I think this looks so freaking good. I've always thought that it looked good, particularly the back end. I've always thought it was a little Cayman-esque, and I like the look of that. However, this body kit, which is $2,700, but I think well worth every penny, nickel, and dime. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this car? As you guys could tell, I love it. I mean, I really think that this is fantastic. Again, I prioritize driving. In a car like this, I'm not worried about comfort, I'm not worried about style, I'm not worried about practicality, or even reliability all that much. I want the car to handle and drive as great as it can, and this car does every single time. I've been incredibly fortunate enough to drive it on Sonoma Raceway out in California. I've also been fortunate enough to drive one on the Roval in Charlotte, North Carolina. That was a Hakone edition. I drove the Yuzu edition out in California, and it handles the racetrack perfectly. We were given the opportunity to drive GR Corollas as well as Supras, and I always found myself gravitating back towards this car. And so during my week with the GR86, particularly the night before I filmed this, one feeling, one thought, one emotion kept coming back to me. And that is how lucky I am. Not only to have had several experiences in lots of different GR86 and BRZ products. Like I said, I've driven them on 2 different racetracks. I drove one from San Diego to LA and back. The blue BRZ you just saw. One of the very early press cars I ever got was a silver one. On my birthday in 2025, I had a red one, and I took it to Indianapolis and back. I've done lots of miles in these cars. I've spent lots of time with these cars, and I'm incredibly lucky to have done that. I'm lucky to be healthy enough to be driving this car. 7 months ago, I did not have the core strength to get down into this car after my surgery. I couldn't drive for a while. I had to recover. I took it the other night to go see a friend who's about to give birth, and by the time this video comes out, she'll have a little girl. How lucky am I to know someone in that position? How lucky am I to be a part of her life and her be in mine? How lucky am I that I get to call my parents? I can pick up the phone right now and call them. They're my parents, and they bug me, and they always will. but I have the opportunity right now to call them, and I know one day I won't. How lucky am I to be out and about? How lucky are you to be able to watch this video on a phone or device or TV, that you have the safety and security to be on YouTube, that you're not fearing for your life? How lucky are you to have a safe space? And I hope that my channel can be your safe space. I'm not saying you're lucky to be able to watch my videos. That's not the point I'm trying to make. But if you're relatively healthy, breathing upright, and able to consume content, you're very, very lucky. And that's how this car makes me feel. Driving this car, shifting gears, it's like I get to shift through the gears of my own head and being. I get to learn about myself and feel my feelings and figure things out. And that's what I kept coming back to. How lucky I am to have this experience, and how lucky you will be if you ever get to have your own go in a GR86. Or maybe you have a Honda Civic that has 300,000 miles on it. You're incredibly lucky to have a car. Such a small percentage of the world population not only has access to a car, but their own car. There are millions of people that are unable to drive cars. There are millions of people that will never, ever get the opportunity to drive, let alone own an automobile. So how lucky am I, and how lucky we all are to just be here today? And for this moment, when I'm behind the wheel, when I'm shifting gears, I'm lucky, and I feel it, and I'm grateful for it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota for loaning me yet another GR86. I will take one of these every single opportunity I ever get. They're just the best. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and delivery of this car, and of course, the Midwest Automotive Media Association. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you're doing well wherever you are, wherever this video finds you, whether that be a town over from me, a state over, or a country apart. I hope this video finds you well, and I hope this video brought you some comfort and maybe a little bit of entertainment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.